you and why you like him?
So Kyle Cox is from Eatonville, Washington, little tiny town in Washington. He's one of those guys when we went to go see after the conference championship game, it was actually extremely difficult to go see him just because he's so small. He's 2 hours outside of Seattle, so we eventually got to see him, and he's super athletic. So he's even played running back this year. So he got to carry the ball a little bit for his team and throws javelin, does basketball, shot put, discus. He wants to be a strength coach, so he's really, really good in the weight rooms, over 300-pound power clean. He's taking junior college classes right now, so he's super smart. He knows self-starter, knows how to listen, knows how to learn, has those habits. Now we just have to build on those habits. So he's really, really excited. Again, he's one of those guys we're able to see a bunch, came to our junior day, was able to come to campus on a couple unofficial visits, so felt really good with him and his family, and we were able to develop a really good relationship and get him as a Bronco. And then Carson, everyone knows Carson because he's a local guy. We're able to see him in camp in person, which is a huge evaluation tool. We get those guys in a highly competitive situation to see how they respond, and he did not flinch. He did really, really good in the biggest competitive situation. So it was fun to see him just compete against the best players in state and also versus some highly recruited guys out of state. So he's really excited. He's a guy too, talked to him this morning, hey, fired up? He's like, yep, going to the gym. He's already grinding, already working. And then the last guy, Jason Steele, he's actually in town right now. So his brother plays at San Jose State. So he was watching his brother play in the Potato Bowl yesterday. And then once he signed his paperwork, he was able to come over to the facility today, so we were able to meet with him and his folks. And he's a mid-year guy. He'll be here in January. He's a center, and I love those guys that are former tackles that move over to center. Just shows that they got great feet and understand protection, and he's got great command. So he'll do a really good job of making calls and being able to operate next to guys that may be a little bit older than him. He won't flinch at all. So really, really excited about all three of those guys for what they're going to do on the field, but just also all their intangibles that they bring off the field. They work extremely hard. Really, really high football IQ guys that love the game, that are going to study film, that are going to do a good job preparing.
You mentioned having trouble getting to the first kid, but any funny or good stories? Maybe that's it, just from the recruiting trail. Any flat tires or anything, or any memorable? I know it was a shorter period this time, more condensed. But
it's just craving that day. We left here early in the morning, and then we're in Washington, and then went to Oregon, and then we're in Texas that night. So it's just the whirlwind of being able to go see different people and trying to where are we at right now? What state are we in? Texas? We're in California. We're going to see. So just that being able to condense everything in a small window, which actually was nice. You didn't spread it out over 2 weeks. We were able to kind of crunch it in there and eat a lot of In-N-Out and Whataburger and have a lot of arguments on what's better. That's always a hotly debated topic on our team. And I think we were able to settle that during the bowl week. We had some of those California guys let's see what this Whataburger thing's all about, and they put that to rest real quick with the In-N-Out. So it was fun to see those guys just get into it about that stuff.
Which, for the record, which side are you on?
I'm team In-N-Out all the way, 100%. As soon as we landed, driving from the airport to the hotel, my son was like, "There's In-N-Out." And later that day, we were for sure making a stop.
They get the well-done fries, though.
The crispy. Yep. Oh, yeah, or the animal fries.
I know John obviously is gone, but do you think there's a good chance you get obviously a lot of those guys back? And there's at least one or two I think that have a decision to make, right? But I mean, how do you feel about that group going into next year?
We want what's best for these guys, so it's working with them through the process. It's not trying to convince them that coming back is best. It's hey, what are you thinking about, and helping them weigh their options. And we do a good job of pushing the academic component of it. So a lot of those guys have already graduated, so it's not like they're doing it just to get their degrees. So it'll be interesting to see how it all shakes out here in the next couple of weeks. Who comes back, who decides to leave, and I'll be really glad when this COVID year is kind of done and expired here pretty soon. We don't have to worry about that. You just kind of know, yep, this guy is a junior. He's got this many more years left. It'll be way better to take that out of the equation.
Do you think? I mean, we have a chance to have a 4 year 5 back. I mean, do you think there's a chance? You think that you could have a really veteran, experienced, deep group next season?
Yeah, and that's the thing about the COVID. Coming in this year too, it was just nice to have a couple guys that have been around, a little more older, a little more experienced. But OJ is going to be the guy that we're going to really miss. Just his leadership, his experience on and off the field. He's going to be a guy that's always hard to replace, and so that's what will be fun to see because someone always surprises you. You never know who's going to step up and fill that role. So really excited for the opportunity for the guys that we have to kind of fill that role that he left.
You guys obviously went and got Cade last year to fill a spot. I mean, do you feel we saw Cage Casey get some run? I mean, some other guys is there a chance you go try to plug John's spot with another transfer, or do you think you have everybody in house there?
No, I mean we're always looking to upgrade our roster, and that's a very delicate balance because it's hard to bring what we do in our program. It's hard just to bring someone in and expect them to be able to kind of like do what we do day to day. So we're very selective. Like it worked out really, really well last year with Cade. He was able to fill that spot, and he was a guy who came from a primarily pass offense and played guard and 2-point stance, and we were able to kind of completely change him into being a really good run blocker for us and play tackle. So it definitely can be done, but it just takes a little time finding the right guy and the right fit. And again, we're always looking to upgrade the roster any way we can.
Final thing, Cage and some of these other guys, who is kind of in that next tier that we didn't see a ton this year, but you're really excited about?
That's the crazy thing. Like Garrett Kern ended up playing tackle this year. And Ben's played tackle, so we've got some guys that have played a couple different positions. So it'll be really fun this spring experimenting and putting guys in uncomfortable positions and seeing who can kind of develop. So everyone this year is going to have a primary position, a secondary position, whether that's center or tackle, and figuring out how to kind of replace those guys we lost.